welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Emily. I am Breakfast of Marathons. Today I am going to be answering some of your questions. If you missed the post on my community tab or if you missed my Instagram post, go ahead and follow me over on Instagram. I am Breakfast of Marathons there also. And if you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you are notified and you won't miss any more community posts. And if you have any questions, leave them down in the comments. If I get enough, I will answer another batch of questions. So let's get started. I do have my notebook here where I wrote down all of your questions. I am going to do a little bit of a mixture of personal and running questions. So let's get started. Here's your cue to go drink some water also. This is my Christmas mug from our cruise. So first question, when did you start running? So I started running in 2014. I was 32, I believe. And it was something that I had been on Weight Watchers for a long time and I was a gym rat. So I was like always in the gym 6 days a week, just sort of doing the gym thing. And my birthday came along and my sister was like, hey, I'd like to get you an experience. What would you like as that experience for your birthday? And I said, you know, I have a friend. She talks about running all the time and she talks about this training program that she does. So I had my sister go ahead and sign me up for that training program. And the rest is kind of history. Next question is, what is your favorite race and your favorite distance? That is two separate answers. My favorite race by far above any other race that I've ever done is actually the New York City Marathon. It's just the crowd support is amazing. If you haven't watched that video, I will link it up here or down below. It's an amazing experience and it's very back of the pack friendly. If you are new here and you're just watching this for the first time, I am a back of the pack runner. They have a cutoff time, but they don't really cut the runners from the course. So they let you finish and there's just so much crowd support, even if you have, missed the cutoff. So that's why I love the New York Marathon. My favorite race distance is the 10-mile distance because it's long enough that it's not like a 5K or a 10K. So, you've got it's a little bit more of the endurance, but also it's short enough that once you get to a point where you might start hitting a wall, you're already done. So it doesn't matter. So yes, the 10-mile is my favorite distance. However, I have not met a 10-mile race that I absolutely love. Locally, I've done the Cherry Blossom 10-miler, which is okay. I mean, it's fine. It's pretty, it's kind of a pain in the butt to get to. I also have another video on that one. I will link that one down below so you can watch them. But yeah, the Cherry Blossom 10-miler, it's just a pain in the butt to get to if you are local. And I'm sorry if you hear Gary running around. He's going crazy. But then there's the Army 10-mile locally that I absolutely cannot stand. I hate that race so much. I can't even tell you why I hate it. I just hate it. So I haven't really met a 10-mile race that's like, yay. The only one close to that is Springtime Surprise at Walt Disney World. But they're always sort of changing things up there. So you never know if you're going to actually like the course this year or not until they release the course maps. Moving on. Where was your first race? My first race was actually a local 5K, and it was the Turkey Day 5K, which I just recently did it again. I do it every single year, and it's just a fun run. You get to dress up like a turkey or, like Thanksgiving throw up on you, and you get to run that race, and just, it's a good way to start your Thanksgiving Day. And also it's a really good way if you're doing the W Challenge to kick off a W simulation weekend, which usually is on Thanksgiving weekend. So that is another really good race for me personally because it's local and don't really have to go that far. And it's early enough that, you're done with your run and then you can go and enjoy your family and friends for Thanksgiving. What was my first marathon? My first marathon was actually the Marine Corps Marathon, which is another local DC race. When I first started out, I was like really worried about traveling. So like my second marathon was actually the New York City Marathon, which was like a big jump. And I was really nervous for that. Really nervous for Marine Corps, but like the first New York City Marathon I did, I was so nervous because it was like New York. I wasn't familiar with the city. I didn't know where I was going. I joined a Facebook group and like met a bunch of like amazing women who I actually am still like pretty good friends with a lot of the women that I met there. So if you are kind of nervous about starting a race, that is a suggestion that I would make to you, is try to find like a Facebook group where you can sort of meet people who are maybe in the same position as you, and then you can like travel with them from your hotel to the start line, or you can sort of get some tips and tricks from people who have already done the race and know all of the ropes. My first half marathon was Beat the Blurch. The first, I think it was the first year that they did it. It was like the only year they did it in Morristown, New Jersey. And my friend Christina and I signed up for it. It was right before my first Marine Corps marathon. So it was like 2015. It was not supposed to be my first my first half marathon, but I actually got bronchitis like literally the week before my first half marathon I was supposed to do. And I'm so happy I didn't, because it like poured rain on the day that was supposed to be my first half marathon. So it turned out to be Beat the Blurch. And we traveled to Morristown, New Jersey. We drove up there, we settled in, and then we got to the start line and realized that it was a trail run. Like, I would say maybe 2 miles were on roads, but the rest of it was like on like single track trails with switchbacks. There was a marathon going on at the same time, and like we had never ever run on a trail, like ever. And so that was sort of the first like push into it. And it just became like run when you can and walk when you have to. So that was a really fun experience though. Like, and then I've done a 50K also, which I did. It's called the Freight Train 50K. It takes place in December, so I think it's actually taking place in a couple weeks. And it was, I think, I want to say 2021, like the end of 2021. And we had just gotten over the C word, and not really super trained for it. We started out walking. So we walked the first mile, and then we like did a run walk for 2 miles, and then we walked another mile. I believe that's how we did it. So yeah, that was really fun actually. I actually have some ultra marathon videos coming up maybe soon. Hint, hint, spoiler alert. Let's get into some of the juicier questions now. They're not really juicy. They're personal questions that I feel like I can answer. What do you do outside of running? A lot of things actually. I hike. I like to spend time with friends, going to like wineries and breweries. The part of the US that I live in, I'm in Virginia, outside of the DC area. So like there are a bunch of wineries, there are a bunch of breweries, there are a bunch of like cideries, there's a bunch of distilleries that we go to. I mean, not super, super regularly, but like every couple of weeks we try to go somewhere. We spend time with my family. My family is mostly local. My brother lives in Japan, but my parents and my sister and her family are local. So I like to go hang out with them. I like to go to the beach. I like to watch TV and just do normal things like lay on the couch and do nothing, or snuggle with my dog, or just regular things. Oh, here's Charlotte. Here she is. Hi, baby. Hi. Oh my goodness. Hi. Hi. And that brings us into, do I have any pets? Yes, I do. This is Charlotte. She is our puppy. She's 2 years old. And then Gary is over here somewhere. He loves Charlotte, but he gets a little bit scared of her. So, all right, this is Gary. He is our kitty. He's kind of like a dog. But yes, this is Gary. He is Charlotte's best friend, and Charlotte is his best friend. We got him in 2019, and he's a sweet guy. He doesn't love to cuddle, so he will probably run away. But yeah, this is Gary, and that was Charlotte, and these are our pets. Okay, back to the running questions. Do park runs exist in the US? Short answer is yes. Long answer is not super, there aren't a lot of them. So we have more like club runs, I guess. So we have places where you can go, like the local running store, where you can go for a guided run or like a group run. We have We do have park runs. I know there is one, like I ran into one randomly one time at Roosevelt Island near Washington, D.C. And we didn't participate because we didn't know what it was or what was happening. We just thought it was a race, but apparently it was a park run. I don't know if they still do it or not, but it is definitely something that I would be very interested in if I am ever like in Europe and there is a park run that happens while we're there. I'm down. I'm down to do it. So maybe I'll look and see if there's anything when we go to Dublin in June. Spoiler alert, we're going to Dublin in June. What is your favorite Disney race? So none of them? No, I'm just kidding. I really like the races where I run with all of my friends and we do like a big group costume. So I would say like 5Ks, like any of them that I run with my friends in a group costume. I really liked the course for the 10K at Wine and Dine this year because it was mostly like they front loaded all of the highway and the bad stuff. So like the first 2 miles was on the highway, and then literally the rest of it was either through Hollywood Studios, the boardwalk, or Epcot. So that was really nice. Like I enjoyed that course probably more than I've enjoyed any other Run Disney course. So ooh, here's another juicy one, and he's standing right there. Am I married? We are not married, and leave a comment down below to encourage Derek to get married. No, we are seriously though. We are not married. We have been together for almost exactly 6 years, and we have our little family. We live together. We are happy. We're good. We just haven't tied the knot yet for whatever reason, Derek. So yeah. Speaking of Derek, somebody asked why he is not in any of my videos, and if you ask any of our friends and family, they play a little game called Where's Derek? Like, Where's Waldo? He actually is in my videos sometimes, and he's also in Himmy's videos from Sisters Run the World. Um, so yeah, he is in videos. It's just you have to know what he looks like and know who he is in order to spot him. So yeah, he is in some of our videos or my videos. And Charlotte's in a lot of my videos because she is adorable and she knows it. What made you start the Galloway method and why are you going to switch? So I started the Galloway method back when I first started running. I have a friend who is a very big like advocate for the Galloway program, and she's fast. She's qualified for Boston. She knows a lot about running. She sort of isn't the person who got me into running, but she's a person who I went to when I first started running to sort of ask all of the questions that I felt stupid asking. So she told me about Galloway method. That was back when it was 1 minute run, 1 minute walk. And that's how I started. I have been toying with switching for a long time now. I've just been sort of thinking about it, and I'm not necessarily going to fully switch. I don't know. I mean, not necessarily. I'm trying to fully switch, but we have a plan where I want to be able to run a 10K straight through, but as I hinted to earlier, I have a little bit of a bigger goal this year, distance wise. So I don't know how that's going to sort of work within the Galloway method and or running straight through method. I don't know, because it's tackling a distance that I've never run before. So it should be interesting. What is my favorite place to eat? Anywhere where there's good sushi. That's an easy question. Good sushi or good Italian food or good tacos. Like those are like the three like big ones that I love. Like if you are specifically asking about at Disney, Garden Grill was like top. Steakhouse 71 for brunch because unlimited mimosas for like $20. Like really, yes, yes, please. Especially after a race or on a race weekend, like after a race. We actually did that for after the Wine and Dine half marathon. We went there and like had our mimosas and our brunch, and it was delicious, and we had a great time. Somebody asked, what are your favorite running shoes? I'll let you know when I find out. So right now I'm really into the Brooks Ghost Max, and yeah, they've been working pretty well for me recently. I bought them at Wine and Dine and have been wearing them for the majority of my runs. I was in A6 Gel Nimbus. That's what I ran Chicago in, and that's what I basically trained for Chicago in, and I really liked those. But I don't know. I bought the newer version, and they are not as good. They're not as wide. They're like a little bit more narrow, and so they kind of squish my feet. So that was disappointing. But yeah, I'm consistently pretty much in Brooks. I started out in Mizuno's. I loved the Wave Rider all the way up until I broke my foot the first time, and then I haven't been able to wear them since. So that's a bummer. But I'm glad that I found Brooks, and I'm glad that those are working out for me for right now. Do I lift weights? Sort of. Yes and no. Sometimes. I don't know. I used to have a personal trainer. Long story short, the gym that I was going to was randomly charging me double for a couple of months, and my trainer didn't really do anything about it. So I had to cancel my cancel my personal training membership. And then when they wanted me to re-sign the contract, it was at a higher price than the agreed upon price, even though they wouldn't have changed it if they hadn't had the billing error. It is really, really hard for me to multitask. I know that that is bad. You should always weight lift, always, like you should. But I do try to do like mobility. I do go see my PT once a week. So I try to do mobility. I try to do some body weight exercises. Are you going to try for 6 stars? I have run Chicago, and I have run New York, and I have run Berlin, and I will link my Berlin video fail down below. But the short answer is maybe. Maybe. I am trying to work with my coach to be able to run a marathon fast enough that I don't have to worry about a cutoff. So Berlin and Tokyo and Boston are really, really, really strict about their cutoff times, like to the point where I know somebody who was literally coming up to the gate at Berlin at the cutoff time, and she was like 30 seconds behind the cutoff, and the guy just like closed the gate right in front of her face. So yeah, I want to make sure that that does not happen to me, because I have major anxiety, and that would just, I don't know how I would handle that. So short answer is maybe, because I want to make sure that I am in a place where I'm not worried about that cutoff time. What is your dream race? One of my dream races, I have a couple, but one of my dream races is actually the Honolulu Marathon. I would love to, run in Honolulu in Hawaii, because who wouldn't? But also, there is no cutoff time. So, like, I think you have like 24 hours to finish. Not that I need 24 hours to finish, and not that I would like want to take that long, but like the thought of being able to like be a part of a marathon and like, you know, just take your time in such a beautiful place, and, you know, maybe take a dip in the water if you need to, or, you know, have a sandwich. I don't know. It just sounds really cool. So that is one of my dream races. The other would probably be somewhere in like California, like the LA Marathon or the California International Marathon. There's actually a half marathon in Bordeaux, France, that you like at the water stops, they give you wine, which would be really cool, except for the fact that I'm allergic to red wine. So that would kind of suck, because if they didn't have any white wine, I couldn't partake. And then what's the point, really, except for I'm in France. And my friend Natalie actually doesn't live too far away. So I could go visit Natalie, and then we could do that half marathon. And there's like a marathon distance too, if anybody else wanted to come and run a marathon, but what, I don't know, why would they? The Paris Marathon would be really cool. Or if they brought back the Disneyland races, the Disneyland Paris races, those would be really cool too. So I've got a couple on the list that, you know, I would love to do. And then I would love to do one in every state, in all 50 states of the US, a half marathon, But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at now. I don't know. I just keep signing up for the same ones at Disney. But this is my last year of like a ton of Run Disney races. I might do one or two here and there, but I think that this is kind of my retirement, my last hurrah, if you will. And the final question of the day is, do you have children? No, we do not. We do not have kids. We do not plan on having kids. There's nothing wrong with having kids. It's just not in the cards for us. I never really wanted kids. And then when I met Derek, he didn't really want kids. So it just sort of worked out that way. So yeah, no, we don't want them, but I love my niece and nephew to death, and I love my friends' kids, and I love being an auntie, and I love giving them back. So that's going to do it for today. If you have any other questions that you want to know the answer to, leave them in the comments below. And while you're down there, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye!